Hi, this is Jacqueline here with the Grow Program. Thank you for growing with me on today. Um, down the line, in this battle, civil rights movement, the 400 years of slavery and oppression in this country never was a right wronged. This country has not acknowledged what has happened in the past with slavery and with our ancestors. What happened in Oklahoma? I mean, it's we need some type of. It's too late for justice. However, this country needs to acknowledge the racist past, and so we can begin to move forward. Because look, now you got 35 police officers who were accused of running up in the Capitol building. I don't I didn't get this podcast to talk about politics, but it just so happened that these politics are trickling down into the community. What's going on up there is affecting what's happening in the community. Of course it does. It trickles down. In government, it affects the people. It was shocking to realize the depths of where these people are willing to go to stay in power. Like I said, I really don't like discussing politics because, see, the ancestors have already revealed to me that, it don't matter what the evil does. This movement is propelling forward. It's going forward. So, we can sit back and plot because, see, evil is not racist. So we can sit back and worry about what everybody gonna do. What anybody gonna do. But we got to keep moving forward. Just like anything that's going on anywhere that you deal in church, the spiritual warfare we dealing with, wherever you at. It's in people. The evil works through people. But in the movement, all along in the movement, there's always been, God has used people to help Africans help Africans, for freedom. I didn't realize that this person, Mark Twain, it was an incident that happened when Mark Twain was a young man. He witnessed a slave being murdered because the slave didn't understand what the owner was telling him to do. And so he hit him and killed him with a rock. And Mark Twain witnessed all this. And it actually was a turning point for him that he was very much against slavery. Even though his family owned slaves, he was against slavery. And he wrote about slavery. He wrote against slavery. And even the adventures of Huckleberry Finn talk about an African man and a Caucasian youth who's trying to help him get to freedom. And I heard about the story when I was young, but I wasn't interested in that type of thing at that time. But come to find out, here it is years later, and come to find out I happen to be visiting in Missouri where Mark Twain was born. A lot of incidents, a lot of things that happened, what the ancestors revealed to me and showed me, influential people. He tried to use his voice and his poetry and his writings to influence people to turn away from slavery as much as he could, because see, just like what's going on now, the evil will kill, before they will stop doing their evil deeds, they'd be willing to kill. You seen the Capitol, what happened in the Capitol building, they willing to kill, to let the evil rule. And, evil is just driven through people. It is. And what we have to do is try to drive out the hate. We have to Dr. King's message really is, it really does work. If you're really willing to work and within your family, within your job, within you, fix you, work on you, fix your heart, change your mind and grow. That's what we doing here. And come to find out, that it's police officers who are on the force who actually ran up in that Capitol building. Why else would you go in there? And they're conducting business. This is not a day to go on a tour. Why would you go in there and you see they're breaking glass and pushing past the police officers? And I mean, it just was a chaotic scene. And I told you, a house divided cannot stand. Come to find out today, these police officers are being investigated for being a part of this insurrection, and it's more that were involved in it. I wouldn't want to be working up there around them in that evil. Ain't no telling what they may do. You don't know who to trust up there. This is really sad. What this government has come to, has been reduced to. All the infighting. And you got the senator from the state. I mean, he just, where is the leadership? That's why we got to trust in God. Don't put your faith in man, put your faith in God. Put your faith and trust in the Lord. Depend on you, count on you. Begin to count on you, because then that way you won't be disappointed. Sitting up worrying about what other folks gonna do. As long as you count on you, you be all right. And this is another thing. I'm a minister, and I'm used to preaching. And when ministers preach, they get excited. They kind of get going. They really get on one. And I'm me. I am who I am. I'm not gonna fix up my voice and change up the way I've been talking. I've been talking like this for years. The only time I ever changed my voice was 30 some years ago when I worked at a receptionist position. I have to be who I am. I'm sorry. And I get, when it comes to God's people, I'm very passionate about God's people. I'm passionate about the work that I'm doing. I called to Bronx jail today, and I had to make the phone call. I just had to make a phone call. I probably won't call there again. But I had to ask someone, after they carried me all around the world and brought me back again, back to the lady who I originally started talking to. I asked her, I want to know who put Khalif Browder in Rikers Island and left him there. And when I was trying to get some email information, so I want to know what reforms, what changes have been made. What are they doing? Besides, they shelled out the money that he never saw a dime of, his mother never saw a dime of. So, but the point is, what are we doing to prevent anything like this from happening again? So I asked her, who put him there and left him there? Who put Khalif Browder in Rikers Island and left him there? And she was silent for a second, and she told me, I don't know. And I believe her. I believe she don't know. But somebody do. And I'm going to keep on until I find out who did it. And hopefully by then, I can have them prosecuted. Because how you going to take a 16-year-old and throw him in Rikers Island and leave him there for 3 years? He was 3 years. He was just, I wish I would have known at the time, because by the time the story came out, he was gone. Had I known that he was sitting there for Rikers Island for 3 years, I would have sacrificed to get him out. I would have sacrificed to get him out of there. But I didn't know until it was too late. So that's why we are carrying on the torch. The civil rights movement has many faces. Many who have died and lost in the struggle. It's just not about one face, but it's one face that is going to be the last face that you see, and that's mine. I was calling over, trying to contact the senators. I'll be working on that tomorrow. Contacting the senators, the legislators out of New York, who are supposed to be advancing some legislation to end cash bail systems out of New York. But what they're saying is they want to make sure they keep violent criminals in jail. Okay, I understand that. Now, Illinois done worked out a system. It's on its way to the governor's desk to sign. Where we need to begin to eliminate these cash bail systems and stop people from being punished for being poor. Especially situations like this, where this young man was robbed of 3 years of his life and then lost his life because of it. The demons and the trauma that he suffered, it's tragic. It's a very tragic story how it happened, but I will get to the bottom of who put him in there. I'm gonna find out. I'm gonna find out who put him in there, and we're gonna get some legislation done and some changes from New York. This cannot happen again. We cannot have any more Khalid Browders thrown in places like Rikers Island. It's so much injustice. It's so much injustice, but we on the way to genuine equality. We are on the road to genuine equality. It's a rough road. It's not going to be easy, And sometimes I sit and wonder, did Dr. King get tired? Did he get discouraged? But I know that he was a strong believer in God. And he knew that it was all going to work out in God's perfect plan. And it is. His dream will come true. His dream of a promised land, his dream for a better life for his people, it's going to happen. They thought that with the civil rights movement, with the passing of the legislation, and then after the passing of the legislation, the murder of Dr. King, they thought that was over with. They even wrote, it's over with now. The civil rights movement is done. His pipe dream of having a beloved community for his people, it won't happen. Well, I'm here to tell them they're wrong. It is going to happen. His people are going to rise. They are not going to be inferior. And we're not going to be dealing with this oppression. We're going to rise from this oppression. We're going to overcome with love. Love drives out hate. You going through there in your marriage or relationship, you don't start loving on them, throwing love. You don't go sit down somewhere, go meditate to the positive. Stop arguing with them. Just meditate quietly. Learn how to be quiet, and communicate. Come back later on and talk. Communicate. Come correct. Apologize. If you wrong, apologize. What type of person never apologize? What type of person always say, well, I'm right no matter what. I'm always right and you always wrong. That's not communication. That's not working things out. That's not a relationship. That's a mess. And you're going to have to get out of that. Trying to reach our greatness in God, people. Greatness reached over oppression through wisdom. We got a lot of different things going on in a lot of different countries. A lot of different people are under oppression. It's a job, but what we have to do is press on. We got a heart. We know that God is working it out. As we are persevering and going on as our beloved state of Texas, they down there and they are going through at this moment. No sign, no leadership. So what they have to do is lean on themselves. Get together with some community leaders, get some people together. See, what we have to do is start being the leaders. I said we don't have no leaders. So you got to be the leader yourself. Begin to organize things, make sure these elderly, and the shut in, make sure they're okay, going around checking on them, calling up folks, I can do what I can do from here, calling down there and trying to make sure some people are all right, because I'm gonna tell you something, I sit here and meditate and I think on those people. Texas is not really used to this type of weather, but it's a sign of the times. And I want Texas and the people of Texas to realize that they are loved, they are thought about. We care. We are the United States. These are not the red states and blue states. These are the United States. All red, white, and blue. All of them. And as a nation, as a country, we have to come together as one nation under God. Finally. Greatness reached over oppression through wisdom all over the world. God bless you, kings and queens.